Today I'm going to be yapping about why discipline is a struggle for you. I used to struggle a bit with discipline and getting consistent on all the things until I found out all of the stuff here that I'm about to basically teach you. Um, so we're just going to hop right into it. There are three big components as to why discipline is a struggle for many people, why it's a struggle for you. And it's because you view discipline incorrectly. You don't view discipline the right sort of way. And what a lot of people don't understand about discipline, they think it's more of like a trait, and it's like, oh, I'm a disciplined person. It's like, no, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not the disciplined sort of folk. It's I'm much more laid back. Watching TV at night, and they say all this sort of shit. Like they talk about discipline like it's a personality trait, but in reality, everyone has a little bit of discipline inside them. It's just a matter of how disciplined are you. So everyone has some level of discipline, but it's either like they're level 1 discipline or they're level 500. So that's the first thing here. Discipline is a skill. Like in Minecraft, you can be like level 23 discipline, and it's something that you can level up. It's not something that it's like, oh, yeah, I'm just not disciplined at all. My room's a mess. I'm really bad at all of this stuff, which, that might be what it looks like at, surface value at face value. It might look like you're just not a disciplined person, but the reality is that you're just a level 1 discipline. You just suck at it. And it's a skill that you can level up. And fortunately for us, discipline isn't exactly a super hard thing to level up. It just takes time and consistency, which you can do. You can build that up. So, how do we level up our discipline? Little acts like mini discipline here. That is how you level your discipline up. So, you might have a room that looks like this. And what mini discipline is basically just doing this sort of stuff. Things like making a bed, the most unsexy thing ever. Make your bed every single day, make it look nice. And that's an act of mini discipline. It's not like, oh, it's the same cliche shit that they all say. Like, make your bed every day, have a cold shower, wash your face, all that kind of boring stuff. Go for a run every day. That's discipline, you know. But the truth is that yes, that's it. That is the truth. It's the acts of mini discipline. You look at all these soldiers in the army and stuff. That's the things that they do. They look a certain way. They dress a certain way. Their shirt has to be tucked in a specific sort of manner, and they make their beds every day. They have to be clean, well groomed, all of that stuff. Those are the things of mini discipline. That's the stuff that'll take you from a level 1 up to a level 10, and then from a level 10 up to a level 15. And then, it gets to a point where the things of mini discipline aren't enough, because mini discipline will just give you a. What the fuck? Mini discipline will just give you like a. Oh, fuck me. It'll give you like a +1, +1 in discipline. Yeah. It'll give you a +1 in discipline, and then that +1 can take you, so far up to level, 12 or whatever. But then eventually it gets to a point where that isn't enough, and you need to start doing things that is like a +2 for a discipline or a +5. And that is when you get to the harder tasks like going to the gym or waking up earlier in the day, going for a run, having cold showers. That stuff gives you a little bit more than a +1. It's a bit more than mini discipline. But it's not like you want to stop doing the mini discipline stuff, you know, because that's kind of like the foundation. You can view the mini discipline as like the foundations of a house. It's like the stuff that the house sits on top of. And if you stop doing like the acts of mini discipline, all the other things on top of that, you get rid of the foundations and the house just goes to crap. It all falls through. So you want to view it like that. Don't view discipline as a personality thing. It's not like, the type of person you are. it's a skill, and you can level it up through the acts of mini discipline. You get like a +1 every single time you make your bed. So if you're watching this video and you're in your room right now, go and make your fucking bed. If you want this video to help you, just pause the video right now and make your fucking bed. And if you're in your room and your bed's a mess and you haven't made it yet, then, well, what the fuck? Why are you even watching this video? You might as well click off and scroll YouTube Shorts or some shit like that. And if your bed's already made, well, good on you. You're already doing that +1 discipline thing every single day. And that's good. That's leveling up your discipline. But you might be, good at the sort of acts of mini discipline, but yet you still suck at, doing the big, bad, hard task. So how do you go from doing like the little acts of mini discipline to then conquering the big, the big mountain, the big final boss? How do you go from like a level 5 to like a level 30 discipline or whatever? And that's just through gradually increasing the toughness of the things that you do. Discipline is like doing the hard thing when you don't want to do it. I might write that down in text. Discipline is doing hard things when you don't want to. Right, yeah, there we go. Remember that. It's not like, feeling motivated to do things. We'll get onto that later. Discipline isn't exactly motivation. It's doing the hard things when you don't want to. Things like making your bed every morning. You might wake up for the first few days feeling motivated to make your bed. It's like, yeah, I'm motivated to make my bed. This is going to be a disciplined lifestyle. But the truth is when you're motivated to make your bed, you don't really get that +1 discipline because you're motivated to do it. Motivation isn't exactly discipline. It's good though. But the thing is when your bed's a mess and it's that one day where it's like, oh, I can't be bothered to make my bed right now. I'll do it later. That is when you got to make your bed. When you have that like limiting belief or that doubting thing, it's like, nah, I'll do it later. That is when you make your bed. In that moment, that's when you do it. And that's when you gain that +1 discipline. And that's when you level up. It's not when you're feeling motivated to do it. It's when you don't want to do it when you're going to level up. And that's why it sort of stops being effective after a while, because you get so used to doing it that it doesn't really, it just happens like automatically that you're not going to get that +1 discipline from making your bed, because, you kind of just do it robotically. So that's why, you struggle, you make it so far, but then you hit a roadblock and you can't exactly push through to the next level. And that's when you got to start doing other things of discipline, like having a cold shower, or going to the gym, going for a run, being on top of fucking cleaning your room and making the house look nice or the apartment look nice. And making all these things, that you don't want to do, is doing them consistently and on time. If you think about it like work or an online business, or the thing that I'm doing, discipline is getting up in the morning and recording the YouTube videos. So what you got to do right now is maybe you want to pause this video and think about how does that apply into your life? Because I can only give you like so many examples. I can't tell you exactly what to do, what specific discipline tasks to improve your life, because I live a different life to you. And the things I say might not all apply to you. And that's why when you're watching this stuff, you kind of got to pause and think, how does this apply into my own life? Otherwise, you're not really going to get any sort of benefit from that. So just pause the video and think, how can I level up my discipline? What is something that I can do? If you're already making a bed, what's the next step from there? Maybe you don't go to the gym and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to start getting consistent with my health, or I'm going to get consistent with my mental health. I'm going to start being disciplined, and every single day I'm going to do a 5-minute meditation. And the good thing about meditation is when you're so used to doing a 5-minute meditation, You can level that up to an 8-minute meditation or a 10-minute meditation. So you never really lose out on that +1 discipline for meditation. Same goes for gratitude journaling. Instead of writing down 1 point of gratitude, write down 3, do 5, do a whole page. Level up your mental health, level up your wealth. There are so many different things. So for me, my active discipline is recording a YouTube video every day. And then maybe when that sort of runs out, I can record 2 videos or multiple shorts a day. I can make a course or whatever. All of that kind of stuff. And it levels up. And you just sort of progress it to the big mammoth task. So figure out how that applies into your own life. What are the tasks that you don't want to do that will be better in the long run if you do them? And that's discipline. Just doing that stuff every single day. Yeah, pretty simple. Now, consistency. Now, there are 3 keys to consistency. Obviously, discipline is one of them. And the system of accountability, and how badly do you want it? So when we're trying to get consistent with anything, you're gonna need to be disciplined. That's just like the way it is. If you want to get consistent with something, you need to be able to do it when you don't want to do it. So that's what I mean when I have discipline written down here. That's the next one. When you want to get consistent at something, you're not always going to feel like doing it. There are going to be times where you don't want to do it, but you just got to do it anyway. You just got to tell your feelings and your brain to shut the fuck up, and you just got to do that hard thing. That is how discipline sort of works in consistency. And obviously you got all like the mini discipline stuff and leveling up and that. But if you want to get consistent at anything, and this is again for your life, whatever it is that you have, you gotta look at your own life and what do I need to get consistent at? Do I need to get consistent with my mental health habits, my fitness habits? Do I need to get more consistent at work? Am I showing up late or not doing shit or whatever your situation is? The way to get consistent is through discipline and doing things when you don't feel like doing them. And to get better at doing things when you don't feel like doing them, you got to level it up through mini discipline, and you got to view it as a skill. It's not a personality thing. You can level it up, you can get better at discipline, and you can get more consistent. Next is a system of accountability. Now, what is that? That's a habit tracker. It's the easiest way to keep yourself accountable for absolutely anything. Just make yourself a fucking habit tracker. It's literally like a table, like that. And you have, your days on the side. And then whatever habit that you need to get consistent at. Maybe you need, gym. You got to go to the gym every single day. And then you have, I don't know, for me, YouTube. Oh my God. And then every single day I tick the box on the habit tracker. If I miss a day of recording YouTube videos, I leave it blank, or you can do a cross. And, maybe I miss 2 days of doing YouTube and a day of going to the gym. Let's say I miss all my habits. Instead of doing, when you miss that, a lot of people will feel like shit and go, oh, what the fuck? I'm just going to get rid of this habit tracker and make a new one or whatever and just stick that one up on my wall. No. If you have a streak of, shit days and missing things, don't tear it down. Leave the habit tracker on your wall and use that as motivation to go and get them both the next day. That's what a lot of people tend to fuck up there. That's what I used to do a lot. Whenever I'd go bad on my habit trackers, I'd just take it down and make a new one. That's so stupid. I use that as motivation to tick off the stuff, because motivation isn't exactly that bad. It's just not always there. That's the issue with it. So that's what a habit tracker is. That's your system of accountability. It keeps you accountable. It reminds you, literally like a reminder in your face. It's like, hey, these are the things that you want to do every single day. So go and fucking do them. So whatever habit it is that you need to do, whatever thing that you need to do daily, if you're struggling with making your bed every day and getting those things of mini discipline done, make a habit tracker. And on that habit tracker, make your bed, clean your room, wash your clothes, all of that basic, stupid, fucking cliche shit. Have that in your habit tracker. For me, my habit tracker's got things like meditation, gratitude journaling, exercising, and learning. I've got those things on my habit tracker. You can put them in there too. They are really good habits that will transform your life. You can trust me on that one. But whatever it is that you need to get consistent with, just make a habit tracker on it. And, write that down on a sheet of paper. Make a little table like this. And it doesn't just have to be 2 habits. You can have 3 or 4 or 5 or however many you want. And put that sheet of paper on your wall where you see it every single day, where it's in your face, like screaming at you. And that is where you want your habit tracker to be, so you see it all the time and it reminds you to do the good habits. That's a pretty easy one. Make one. It's like a non-negotiable. I think every single person should have some sort of habit tracker in their home, in their life, because we all have things that we want to get on top of. And if we all have things that we want to get on top of, but it's kind of difficult to stay consistent with it, like, this thing will help you. This thing will get it done because it's in your face. It's like a 100% success rate if you follow it properly. You don't tick boxes on days that you miss them, and you don't tear it down every time you go to shit. Like, just leave it there on your wall until the days run out, and when the days run out, just make a new one. It's so useful. I can't stress it enough. You really need to get a habit tracker. Now, the third one is, do you want it bad enough? Do you want it? Because the truth is, if you want to get consistent with something, you have to want it. Because you can't get consistent at something. You can't do all of this for something that you don't want. Now, that's why I'm not trying to speak too much about the things that I'm doing, because it's about you. It's about what you want. And if I'm telling you all this sort of stuff that I'm doing, you might get hyped up for that and go, yeah, I want to do that. I'm going to do all that stuff too. But that's not authentic to you. It has to come from you and the things that you want. So if you're trying to get good at something that in your heart and in truth you don't really want to do at all, you're going to struggle to get consistent at it, because the reality is that you don't want it. So with the things in your life, you got to ask yourself, why do you want it? What will your life look like when you get this thing? So let's put that in context of, fitness and working out. Why do you want to build the dream body? Why do you want to get that, this sexy V-taper back body, big arms, big legs? Why do you want that in your life? Why do you want to get the physique? Well, because it gets you girls. It looks good. It feels good. It ups your self-confidence. It makes you feel strong enough to protect those that you love. It has people respect you subconsciously because you're just bigger, and, you look like you could beat them up and they don't want to meddle with you. You have all of these reasons as to why you want to build yourself an aesthetic physique. And then once you get that, and you understand what your life looks like when you get this, use those reasons to answer that question, do you want it bad enough? Yeah, I do, because I want to reap all of these benefits. But if you just look at someone and you say, why do you want the aesthetic physique? Why do you want to look good? And they say, well, I don't know. It's just because this guy told me to. You're never going to get consistent if that's your reason for doing something. I just want to. I just feel like it. No, it's not going to happen. Think about it. Think about the benefits of it in context to your life. For anything, this won't even take that long. If it's a good habit, you're going to get all of these points pretty quickly. And you just got to make yourself want it. If it's really something that you want, but you're just struggling with wanting it, ask yourself those questions. Why do you want it? And what is your life going to look like when you have it? For some people, for some things, you're not going to need to ask yourself these questions. It's just like, I just fucking want this thing. And you're like obsessed over it and you're thinking about it. And obsession isn't a bad thing, especially for young men, young, ambitious men. You know, they tell us, oh, obsession's bad. Don't obsess over stuff. Work-life balance, fucking, shut up. You know, Alex Hormozy, $100 million man, very rich. He said people who obsess over work-life balance are typically mediocre at both. He said that, not me. So do with that quote what you will. You just got to obsess over something, one thing that means a lot to you. And, you know, sometimes you might have to ask yourself these questions. Why do you want it? Why do you want to make $10,000 a month or whatever? Why do you want to build the aesthetic physique? Why do you want to improve your mental health? And answer those questions and just think about that thing all day, every day. Obsess over it and make yourself want it bad enough. If it's not something that you naturally want bad enough, you can force yourself to want it bad enough through asking yourself these questions and doing these things. So that's about it. Those are the three sort of keys to consistency. You need that little level of discipline, which we discussed. You need to have a system of accountability. A habit tracker is the easiest one. Don't bother trying to do any other shit. You know, you can also have like an accountability partner. You know, if you know someone, you can like send them a message and say, hey, let's go and grind on this thing together. And if you don't have anyone like that, because not everyone sort of does that these days, you can look at my links in the description. Sorry, it's just the first one to my community, my course thing. And you can find me there. I'll be your accountability partner if you want. And then the third key is, do you want it? If you don't want it enough, but you know it's good for you, you know, force yourself to want it by visualizing your life when you have this thing that you want. Visualizations are powerful. If you visualize yourself living large, you're going to go very fast. So, and then one last thing, use motivation, but don't expect it. The big thing about motivation is that my throat's fucking dying. Sorry. Oh. I was suffering there for like the past 5 minutes. I don't know if you could tell. These long videos are hard. The big thing about motivation is that a lot of people rely on it too much. Like, motivation is good. When you feel like motivated to do something, when you feel that like high to go after something, especially if it's like good for you, use it. Take that motivation and go to town with it. Like, if you feel motivated to go to the gym, go to the fucking gym and have an insane workout. But the problem is with motivation is that people expect it. They expect motivation to come, and that's a bad thing. Don't expect motivation, because it's not always going to be there. Motivation is something that, you know, it comes and goes like waves. You know, sometimes you have motivation, sometimes you need to channel into your discipline, and then other times the motivation comes back, and then you got to be disciplined again, and then you still got to be disciplined, and then you still got to be disciplined, and then all of a sudden the motivations come back, and when the motivation's back, you use it like hell. You know, right now you're probably feeling motivated to go after the stuff because you're like listening to all of this advice and whatever. Use that. Don't let motivation go to waste, because it's not always going to be there. And motivation is one of the greatest tools in the world to go and get something that you want. But the problem is that what everyone does is they expect it to stay there. But motivation never ever stays there. And when the motivation goes away, that's when you got to use your discipline to still do the thing when you don't feel like doing it. Because that's all motivation is. All motivation is feeling like doing something. That's it. I'm going to write that one down. that's motivation. It's feeling like doing something, regardless of what that thing is. You can feel motivated to brush your teeth every day. You can feel motivated to have a shower because you smell like shit from working out. You can feel motivated to get a bunch of girls because you're young and, you know, horny. You can feel motivated to have $1 million business. You can feel motivated to do anything, motivated to eat because you feel hungry, motivated to drink water because your throat is fucking sore. Motivation happens for anything. It's not just like some hustle fucking culture thing. Motivation is literally just feeling like doing something. And that's it. But the problem with motivation is that it isn't always there. Sometimes you feel like doing it, other times you don't feel like doing it. And a lot of people won't do something and they'll just say, I don't feel like it. But if that thing's better for you, then what the fuck do you mean? I don't feel like it. If it's better for your future and you don't feel fucking motivated to do it, you just got to go ahead and fucking do the thing. And it pisses me off when it's like, how come you didn't go to the gym today? It's like, I just didn't feel it. I didn't feel like going to the gym today. I'm like, well, are you like battling an injury? And they're like, nah, I just didn't feel like going to the gym. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you go to the gym because it's better for you and it improves your health and it makes you stronger, especially if you're like training for a sport or whatever. This is like, well, I'm saying here, I train for a sport. That's why I go to the gym. So I'm very consistent with that stuff because I want to get better at said sport. And I'm chatting to these guys and like, I just didn't feel like it, you know? I don't feel like going to the gym. I already got training today. And you're like, man, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you didn't feel like it, so you didn't do it. Like, your feelings betray you a lot. Your brain and all that stuff, it isn't always your best friend. It isn't always working for you. It's going to tell you shit that, isn't fucking true. It's going to lie to you. It's going to beat you down. It's going to make you worse. It's going to keep you in that fucking little comfort zone because it's all that primal stuff trying to protect you from getting eaten by a lion or some shit. Just because you don't feel like something doesn't mean you don't have to do it. And that's what happens with the people that rely on motivation. When they rely and they have 100% of their, thing on motivation because, they motivate themselves by, wanting something, by answering these sort of questions. They're like imagining themselves being better at something. They're like, yeah. And then they get motivated and they go and do it. But when people rely so much on motivation and they just don't feel like doing something and they don't do it, I'm like, fuck me. That fucking pisses me off. When you don't feel like doing something, you go ahead and you fucking do that thing anyway. Because that's what fucking discipline is. It's doing hard things when you don't want to. And if you don't feel like doing it, then you go ahead and you fucking do that. And then boom, you get like a +10 in fucking discipline. If it's something really hard, like going to the gym for a grueling 3-hour workout and, fucking doing bloody conditioning shit, man, that's like a whole fucking level up. You fucking level up twice doing that shit when you don't feel like it. You're getting up early in the morning before the sun rises and going for a really long run. Like the stuff that David Goggins does. That will level your discipline up like crazy. And you might feel motivated to do it, and then you won't exactly get the big benefits of discipline because you felt like doing it. So it's not really that hard to go and do when you feel like it. But the moment you don't feel like doing something, the moment this thing of motivation is gone, that's when you got to channel into your discipline, and that's when you got to do the hard things when you don't feel like it. And that is like the big thing about discipline, is that you can't rely on motivation. And so many people rely on it. And like, fucking hell. And I'm not hating on motivation here. I'm not saying like motivation is bad for you or anything. Because like I said, use it. Use motivation. When you feel motivated to go for a run, like you can feel motivated to do anything, right? Like you can feel motivated to go to the bar and have drinks. You can feel motivated to play video games, and you can feel motivated to watch porn and motivated to scroll social media. You can feel motivated to do those things. If you feel like doing it and you want to do it, that's motivation. It's feeling like doing it. But that's bad for you. And that's when you got to kind of use like willpower or the opposite of discipline to, well, not really the opposite of discipline. You can use discipline to reject motivation too. But when you feel motivated to do something that's good for you, like going to the gym or doing the good mental health habits or reading a book that's going to benefit you, or, you know, doing something like making your bed or cleaning your room, socializing with your family, when you feel motivated to do something that's actually good for you, fucking do that thing. Use that motivation, because it's going to feel easy to do that. And even if you don't like get the +1 in discipline from doing something that you feel motivated for, you still get the +1 on that thing. You still get the +1 on meditation, the +1 on fitness. You know, you wake up the next day being a bit healthier than you were the day before. You wake up with a better relationship with your family than you had the day before. You still get the benefits on everything else. You may not get the discipline benefit because you felt motivated to do it, but you still get the benefits on absolutely everything else. So when you feel motivated to do something, especially, you know, if it's good for you, if you feel motivated to fucking jerk off, obviously don't fucking do that. You know, just wait for the motivation to die down. Just, you know, fucking get up, run away, go and do something else. Like, literally, get up and run away. Just use, you know, if it's something that's good, use it. Don't feel like, I feel like going to the gym today, but that's not discipline, so I'm not going to go to the gym. Like, fucking, that just sounds so fucking stupid, doesn't it? So use the motivation, but just don't expect it to always be there. It's going to come and go. Don't rely on it. And don't be that fucking person who goes, I didn't go to the gym because I didn't feel motivated to. I didn't feel like it. Like, fucking hell. That is one of the dumbest fucking things you could possibly do. So, yeah, that's a little bit of a rant to finish this thing off. But this is all to answer that question, why it's a struggle for you. The big thing is to understand that it's a skill. It's not a personality kind of thing. It's not like, yeah, I'm just not that disciplined guy. Like, shut the fuck up. It's a skill. You know, it's not like you're not a disciplined person. It's just that you fucking suck at it, and you can level it up by doing the little things of mini discipline. When you don't feel like doing them, when you know you're waking up and you're like, man, I don't want to make my bed today. I'll do it later. Like, I'll just do all this shit now. Or I don't want to go to the cold shower. It's, you know, it sucks. That's when you got to do it. When you don't have that motivation, that's when you have to do it. But if the motivation's there, do it, because it's good for you anyway. And then you level up. You get that +1. You get that +2. You get that +5. And then all of a sudden, you know, you're a level 5 in discipline. Then you're a level 10. Then you're a level 20. And then all of a sudden, you can conquer that mountain. You can conquer the beast. And when you get that such a high level of discipline, you can basically do anything consistently. And the thing is like, the first thing, key to consistency, discipline. Number 2 and 3 are kind of good for when you're starting out. You know, obviously they're good all along. A habit tracker will take you so far in life, regardless of what level you are in life. You know, wanting something bad enough, you can't do anything if you don't want it, so you have to want it. So that's a thing. But discipline really is the key to getting consistent with absolutely everything. Discipline is the key to consistency. The other two stuff is very useful. Don't reject those at all. Don't forget them. Don't say like, nah, they're useful. I don't want that stuff. Take them both. Take all 3 keys to consistency. But understand that discipline is the big one. Is the big one that you absolutely have to level up. And that's just doing fucking things of mini discipline. Literally the unsexy shit of cleaning your room and doing your chores and dusting the tables and fucking all of that dumb stuff. That is how you level up discipline. And then you got the whole motivation thing. And that's it for this one. Check out the links in the description. And subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you made it this far, that's bloody wonderful. I upload long form videos like this once a week. So subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.